In 3, 2, 1.
Maybe enough of the loft on it. That's going to come. He's going to get there. But, and for Kyle, too, it's been kind of an up and down year to be able to have something good to finish on. It's a lot of positive taken in the offseason.
Well, it's a range, and it differs team to team. But, some of the topics are economic. How does our system work? Does the system make sense in certain markets? Do they have a chance to compete on the one hand? And then it's, how does the baseball perform, and how's it going to perform in the future? I mean, it really runs a spectrum of topics, which I think is great.
It's to Lindor. That's line toward right center. That's a base hit. It bounces in. It goes to the wall. Vientos scores. Naquin scores. Around third, Alvarez comes home. Relay to the plate. Cut off. Alvarez comes home. Francisco Lindor has a 3-run double. The Mets have scored 6 in the first 2 innings against Eric Fitty. And Lindor now with 107 RBIs has given the Mets a 6-0 lead.
Nathaniel Hackett has never been a play caller in the NFL. There are massive growing pains when you're the head coach, the play caller, and trying to manage the game. And we saw that. Now, to his credit, they hired Jerry Rosberg to help with that. But when you look at the job that guys like Mike McDaniel, Kevin O'Connell, Brian Daboll have done, they were clearly ready for their opportunities. Nathaniel Hackett clearly wasn't. So he's trying to learn on the fly. That's a really hard job to do that. And just not even the decisions, the way it looks, getting out of the huddle, the cadence, getting up to the line of scrimmage, trying to run motions. Every ball is being snapped at 0-1 second on the play clock. It's really hard to be excellent when the whole operation just isn't functioning well.
I think every game has a history of its own. You can worry about all the things ahead. What I do know, there's a lot of teams that are 2-2. There's a lot of teams, there's a handful of teams that are 3-1. And we're right in striking distance. We got them right where we want them. So we got to go get it.
Officials just want to go out, do the best job they can do. It's kind of like any job that anybody takes. No one takes a job and then tries to fail at it. They're trying to do the best they can do. We've got some older officials that can't quite get there anymore, but they're still trying to do the best job they can do and let the kids play.
Good afternoon and welcome to a Thursday edition of Sports Day. I am Hesh. He is Mike Corson. That will be the other voice you will hear shortly. And this is Sports Day. It's presented by Barton Community College along with Barton Community College Athletics, and we obviously appreciate them for doing Sports Day. As folks, let's be honest, it's been a scramble. Webby's out, and we're all kind of flying by the seat of our pants. Are we not, Mike Corson?
My job's been the same. You're the one running the board, so props to you.
Well, and I was late getting in here. That's why we missed the first part of it. So we will talk about the sounds of the past 24 hours. Me being a smart aleck, I put Mike Matheny on there because I could not find any post-game show on there, and I thought it was interesting. Mike Matheny was talking about next year. Well, he will no longer be the head manager of the Kansas City Royals.
You jinxed. That's bad juju you put out there, and I've been talking all morning.
Well, you asked somebody in Hoisington. I made some comment about Alberto Mondesi, and like 2 days later is when he tore up his ACL. They're like, dude, what kind of jinx did you have on him? But yeah.
No more talking about the Royals for you. Yeah, I make it a point to watch the last broadcast because it's kind of like closure.
Right.
You got HUD crying, which is always great. But Ryan Lefebvre was just praising Matheny and how great he is for the media to deal with. And I left feeling pretty good. I like Matheny. And then I had not heard it until this morning when you came in guns blazing that Matheny was out.
I just said he was fired. I didn't have guns blazing.
About fell down the stairs.
I actually did not know that. Well, it's been hectic, and I was in bed fairly early, and I woke up this morning, and that was the first thing I heard, that Mike Matheny was no longer manager of the Kansas City Royals.
And I kind of say this. Dayton Moore was a winner in Atlanta, won some games here. Matheny was 6 straight winning seasons in St. Louis, 3 straight over 90 wins. His 4th year, he hit 100 wins. He can't manage at all. So, of course, the most he ever won in Kansas City was 74, but I always just question who's actually running the show in Kansas City.
I would agree with you on that one. We have disagreements. You ought to hear some of our conversations in the Mole Hill downstairs. We keep it polite, though. I think it's clear now that John Sherman has taken charge. I'm not sure the Glass family was really that interested in it. And I know it's been a while since, he passed away, but I just don't know. I think he handed it over to Dayton Moore and said, here, Dayton, it's yours. I don't want to deal with it. But I think John Sherman is in charge.
Well, and so when you fire somebody, you obviously better have somebody to back it up. So I'm hoping for Joe Madden, but or maybe we'll steal Tito from the Guardians.
Yeah, I don't
maybe
think
they'll get dumped early.
I don't think that'll happen. Yeah, I don't really have a preference on where they go. I guess I'm like you. I like Mike Matheny as a person. I would have liked to see him get another shot, maybe with a lot of my blame goes to the pitching coach because, the pitching, you could take Lynch and Bubich and, those left-handers, they're Danny Duffy 5 years later. I mean, so they do not develop players, and I'm going to put it on Cal Eldred, the pitching coach.
Let me make one more phone call here. Go Big Red. What's Alex Gordon doing? It's a baseball guy.
You think he would be a manager? I mean, he played by George Brett when Brett was the hitting instructor for like 2 months. He said, this is crazy.
There you go. Frank White had the T-bones.
That's right.
George Brett's always in the stadiums.
Yeah, well.
Pay him a little extra.
Why would you put yourself through that hassle? It's the season-long grind. I mean, they don't like this to travel with some of those guys. And they're used to perfection because they were good. They can't manage average players.
And sometimes that's a really bad thing, but sometimes it's a good thing to get that extra little bit of mileage. But
sure.
Yeah, on the other hand, several of the teams around the league have hired young guns that maybe you can make careers out of.
Right.
So you do like the young, hungry guys that are fresh out of the game. I might even take a statistical guy. I don't know, just somebody who has some drive and cares and wants to win.
Well, and you might have hit it right there with the statistical because John Sherman has said they're going to be more, I use the word sabermetrics. I know that's kind of outdated. It's the analytics, correct? I think John Sherman has pointed that out. J.J. Piccolo has obviously, I think, been more analytical, and I think they will hire a manager that feels the same way. And I don't think Mike Matheny was that person.
Probably, yeah, he seemed pretty old school, taking fastballs to the face and walking off. But I like when the catchers come up and they're managers, and he was a National League guy,
right.
So
he
actually had to manage games. And you had talked about the clubhouse in St. Louis, what it might have been like. These guys they're multi-million-dollar athletes, adults. To me, I've always kind of questioned, especially what a baseball manager does, and I know any baseball manager could
all they got to do is fill
out
out the lineup card. I mean, it's all relationship, I would think. Okay, moving on. Then we heard from Rob Manford. He is the baseball commissioner, and his relationship he has with the teams. It was kind of, okay, whatever, Rob. I'm not been too impressed with his reign as baseball commissioner.
I know the one time I sent an angry email down there, and his office called me, so I was...
Really?
I actually like his office.
The MLB commissioner's office called you?
Yeah, Ginger did.
Well, what did you say?
They kind of cheated us out of some games down in Houston, so I figured out their emails. And
you did.
I thought I was a bot, and she says, "This is Ginger from the office of the Major League Baseball Commissioner." Oh, I said, "Oh, you got my email."
I would have fallen off of my chair. Then we heard play-by-play from the Mets as Francisco Lindor got a triple or a double and scored 3 runs. The only reason I put that in there, my daughter is a baseball fan. She texted me this morning, "Dad, who's going to win the World Series?" I said, I have no idea. I haven't really had a chance to look. She said back the Mets. So the Francisco Lindor bite was for my daughter. So that doesn't really mean anything.
And I'm not going to help you out at the close of the show, so I don't know how much playoff we can talk, but I see the Mets. I didn't know the wild cards was now a series. That's lame.
Yeah.
It was so exciting when it was
one game.
Throw your best guy out
exactly.
there. So that would have been interesting. Padres at Mets, but no Hosmer, no Padres for me.
Yeah, I would agree there. Then we heard from Mike Tannenbaum from ESPN discussing the Denver Broncos and the confusion that has, I guess, reigned in the front office. And I still think they did not play anything in the preseason. Their starters did not play in the preseason. I don't see how you can do that, especially with a brand new coach, brand new players. You got to get some camaraderie going on the field. Only the way to do that is during a game.
And I don't know enough about their play calling system. I know they have the shut off in their helmets at some point, but where's the Peyton Mannings of the world that are they're going up, seeing what the defense is doing, and they're
Right.
making calls on the field. Once again, multi-million-dollar professional athletes, let them make some decisions.
Yeah. And then we heard from Russell Wilson. He says that the Broncos have everybody just where they want them. The Broncos played tonight against the Colts. Mike just gave me a look of, okay.
Yeah, I mean, the Broncos have been so lackluster to watch. It's interesting that it's a Thursday night highlighted game. And then the Colts, the one team I believe they've beat is the Chiefs.
That's it.
So once again, the NFL has so much parity this year. You don't know who's going to show up. So it might not be a great game, but it might be a close one.
Yeah, very good. And then we heard from from Mark Goodhart. Correction, you talked to Mark yesterday, and he's talking about the officials, and they're trying to recruit officials, and lay off the officials. If you're out and about and you're at a game, if you're not out there doing it, be quiet.
Yeah, we talked in the interview yesterday. There's no such thing as a homer. Officials are making calls in the heat of the moment. They're not even from the town, usually, where they're officiating. And so the big kicker there, in case you has pushed it, if you don't have officials, you will not have high school sports. And if you want good officials, don't run the young ones off, because somebody has to learn somewhere.
That is so true. I saw a video from last year, I think it was, where they had a basketball game, and there was one official for the basketball game.
And I bet that was fun to play in. I mean,
yeah, they weren't calling any fouls, were they?
So you can't have both worlds. You can't continue to blame those guys and then expect somebody to get better at their job.
So who are you taking in the playoffs then? Have you made a decision since you're not voting for the Padres?
Well, I watch a lot of AL Central, so go Guardians, but
That's
Dodgers are the team to beat. Hey, Bieber, he still gets his peaches down in Georgia.
Okay. All right.
You wouldn't get that reference.
I know I would not. Would you like to explain that to me?
I was a Justin Bieber reference.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm a little bit too old for Justin Bieber. Okay. This is Sports Day. I'm Mike Hesher. He's Mike Corson. Fortunately, the head coach of the Great Bend Panthers, Evan Beck, has walked into the room. And I said the wrong name, didn't I? See, I knew that. I just jinxed you guys. I know. It's like, okay. Sorry about that. Aaron. Correct. All right. And he's got a young man with him who has a nice shirt on there, Fort Hays State football. Haven't fared so far well this year. We talked to Gerard Wellbrock yesterday. Any final thoughts, Mr. Corson, as you leave me for the day?
No, we haven't talked about the baseball changes coming this year, and we got short time, so we won't. But the shift is going to be a game changer. It's been a game changer. They're going away from that next year. You always kind of wonder how much that impacted a manager's record.
That's a good point. I never been for the shift, and I'm kind of glad they're putting limits on it, but it's also more government intrusion, for the lack of a better term.
Right. Yeah, 9 guys on the field, put them where you want. Learn how to hit around it.
Exactly.
But it was terrible to watch on TV.
Well, Mike Moustakis is the key there. He learned to hit the left field, and his career was good for at least 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, and that's the one where if you learn how to hit to the opposite field, are you going to be hitting home runs? Well, I think the league wants
and what we want
strikeouts and home runs.
And they get paid for hitting home runs. Okay, thank you, Mike Corson. We'll talk to you tomorrow. You're listening to Sports Day. We'll be right back with the head coach of the Great Bend Panthers. And it's going to be a difficult question to ask right off the bat. You're listening to Sports Day. It's presented by Barton Community College and Barton Community College Athletics. We'll be right back on Sports Day.
Hey, you want to hear some good news? Venture Corporation is still hiring for laborers, flaggers, equipment operators, CDL A and B drivers, and mechanics. And if you're ready to make some money, call Leslie at Venture. Thought about getting your CDL? Venture will train the right candidate. Higher starting wages, on-the-job training, excellent benefits, and you get paid for traveling throughout the state. Venture Corporation on South Highway 281 in Great Bend is an equal opportunity employer. Venture Corporation, homegrown, family-owned.
Hey everyone, this is Cole Ryan, voice of the Barton Cougars. Attending sporting events for Barton Community College is great, but did you know you can support the athletic teams even further by getting involved with the Cougar Booster Club? The Boosters help with fundraising for equipment and facility upgrades to give Barton athletes every opportunity to keep succeeding at the regional and national levels. Join the Cougar Booster Club as an individual or business. Call 620-792-9377. Become a booster today. Go Cougars.
When it's time to to replace your old windows and doors, call your local Pella certified contractor, Empire Improvements. With a full line of Pella windows and door options, including affordable vinyl, durable fiberglass, and luxurious wood, Empire Improvements has an option for any taste or budget. No matter what Pella window or door you choose, you'll know it was installed right by a Pella trained and certified contractor. For the best warranty in the business, call Empire Improvements in Great Bend today at 620-603-0872.
When you fall prey to consumer scams and give out your Medicare number, it's considered compromised. Kansas Senior Medicare Patrol's trained volunteers help educate Medicare beneficiaries in the fight against healthcare fraud. If you have given out your Medicare number, report it to the Kansas SMP by calling 1-800-860-5260. Sponsored by the Kansas Department for Aging and Disability Services and Administration for Community Living, Department of Health and Human Services, and this station.
It's time to talk Great Bend High School football with head coach Aaron Beck here on Sports Day.
And welcome back to Sports Day. I'm Mike Hesher. Now we're joined by the head coach of the Great Bend Panthers, Aaron Beck, and also running back Cody Miller is in-house, so we'll talk to both of those as we go along here. Coach, big win over Dodge City on Friday night. You want to enjoy that, but you also have to look forward to Liberal. Did you give, I know the pros used to have like a 24-hour, enjoy the win for 24 hours. What did you do?
Yeah, that's kind of the same thing we do within our program. These kids enjoy the taste of success. So 24 hours, actually on Saturday, I gave them the day off. Usually we come in and watch film, do a little lifting or running. But we took Saturday off just kind of as that, midway point of the season. Everybody needed a little break, little reset, recharge, and we had some home volleyball, so it kind of worked out well to give them a little break. But yeah, we do. We move on to Liberal pretty quick. I mean, as a coaching staff, we're already exchanging film on the bus ride home from Dodge and breaking down Liberal, and it comes pretty quick. I mean, that's sports, that's football. It is a regimented schedule that you move on to the next opponent, and that's kind of what we do, and we learn from it. But it's time for Liberal.
You exchange film. How you don't exchange film like the old days? You watch it on video, correct? I watch it on Huddle or someplace.
Yeah, it's all done through Huddle. You exchange the last two games. That's kind of the courtesy within the WAC. So they get our last two, we get their last two. But there's other ways to find other film out there. So I'm sure they do the same thing on us. But film study has really taken off recently. I remember when I first started as an assistant with Coach Black. I remember me and Cody Schmidt driving to Dodge City to exchange DVDs with Liberal. We met halfway in Dodge City at a gas station, and that's how you used to do it.
I was going to say the same thing. I did play-by-play for Hoisington, and they'd always, they'd have a meeting on Saturday mornings, and one of the coaches would be gone because they're meeting somebody in, halfway, as you said.
Yep. So it's come a long way. It's pretty easy to do on the click of a mouse, and Coach Clausen will have that already uploaded and ready to go via internet on the bus. So it's a kind of a game changer to keep everybody moving and not wear coaches out on the weekends driving and with the collaboration of being able to break down all the input, all the data on Huddle is pretty fascinating in itself.
Well, and that gives the players a better chance to watch more film too, I guess.
Yeah, being able to just make playlists and say, hey guys, watch these few clips. Yes, rather than the old school VHS of rewinding, fast forwarding, that kind of thing is kind of out the wayside. So
okay. Cody Miller joins us. And Cody, what was the feeling during your comeback on Friday night against Dodge City? You guys down 14-0 in the fourth quarter, got a score, and then came back and won in overtime.
Yeah, it felt really good, but in the end, our team's still not satisfied and still want to go get some more wins.
Well, that's good. You won 3 in a row, and you take on the Liberal Redskins tonight for homecoming. What have you learned about Liberal thus far?
Well, they have some bowling ball-like linebackers. A really big dude on their defensive line that might cause some trouble, but I think we can get around it.
Are you making special plans for them? I mean, special plays, or just, I like your term, bowling ball linebackers?
Yeah, they roll downhill. They are. They're
really.
They are some hard hitting. They're brothers, both state qualifying wrestlers. So they're tough inside. They got a young defense. A lot of I think they start 7 sophomores on their defense that really fly around. And when you ask for special plays, I was looking at him like, don't you dare say one word on this hot
Sorry
mic.
about that.
But yeah, But yeah, they're Liberal always plays us tough. They always got a few kids that are just some hard-nosed defenders, and we kind of saw that on film.
How long you been playing football, Cody?
Since like 3rd grade, I started to tackle.
And you have a passion for it, obviously?
Oh, yeah.
What do you want to do? What year are you in school?
I'm a junior.
You are a junior, so you have another year?
Yep.
So this has to be a lot better than last year. Winning always helps things.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Cody's come a long way. You know, he's a kid that came out for track for us here this last spring and really developed some speed. He's pretty deceptive. You know, he's got great feet, great vision, exactly what you look for in the type of zone offense with our counter complement. He does a great job of sticking his foot in the ground, and then his pass catching ability out of the backfield has really been good. I think he's still, even after last week, we struggled to run the football against Dodge's front. But I think he's still averaging almost 6 yards a carry right now for us offensively. So he's doing a great job, and we'll continue to lead on him throughout this year and Friday night.
Okay, we'll take a step back. We'll go back to Friday night. When did you feel like you were going to make the cut? When did you feel like you maybe turned the corner against Dodge City?
Well, you know, we knew we could drive the football, but at halftime you kind of go in there and we talk offensively. We're sitting there going, man, guys, we're only going to get 3 or 4, maybe more possessions in this second half. I mean, overall, even counting the overtime, we had 7 total offensive possessions. So we weren't going to be able to shoot ourselves in the foot like we did the first half. So that first drive of the third quarter that actually lasted into the fourth quarter, our one and only drive in the
was that
third
the death
quarter.
March that Patrick kept referring to?
Yeah, it was about 80 yards. I think it was 18 plays.
He said 19 is what 19. I called, but it could have been 18, sure.
And capped off by Cody touchdown run that you kind of felt that. All right, here we go, team. We got this, and that's been the big difference with all these kids. You know, I mean, once you get that taste of success, they're playing with some confidence. Our quarterback had one of the best games he's had ever, throwing the ball, delivering it where he needed to, taking what the defense was giving him as far as running the ball or hitting these guys on the quick passes. So I felt like that was kind of the moment. And then our defense comes onto the field and gets a huge 3-and-out to get us the ball right back. And then Colton Brock makes a heck of a double spin move to get into the end zone to tie that thing up. And it was kind of game on from there.
What was the feeling on the field, Cody? I mean, when you guys were making your comeback,
it was crazy to us.
Do you guys? I mean, Coach was talking about confidence. Were you feeling confident that you could come back?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Especially when our quarterback stepped up, that really helped us.
Well, that makes a huge difference, doesn't it, when the quarterback? What did you do? How did you feel personally? Did you like, okay, we're going to get this done, or still have a little hesitance?
Yeah. Well, I had a rough first quarter, first half, and I did start to step it up. So
well, that's good if you can realize things aren't going so well, but you can make things happen afterward.
Yeah, and Dodge was kind of one of those teams, like you said. They were giving us some fits first half. They were doing some things, shading us and picking up on some tendencies. So we had to make some adjustments in our run game, and still didn't block very well. And that's something we really went back to the drawing board this week and hammered home with our guys up front that we got to be way better to give this kid some room, because you got to be able to run the football, and we did not run it very effectively against Dodge. So that'll be something that we lean heavily on versus Liberal.
And then listening to the game, I was in the station here, and Patrick says one of the biggest coach's decision was in taking the ball at taking the wind going against the wind in the third quarter, so you had the wind in the fourth quarter. What led you to that decision?
Well, I knew they were going to get the ball to start the third,
right? And
the way they had been chewing up clock, if we decided to take the wind in the third quarter, we may get it worked out well. We may only get one possession with the wind, so. The decision to let them have it, I had a feeling they weren't going to throw the ball a whole lot, so go ahead and take our chances with it, and it paid off just with having that win behind our back, and then taking the win in the overtime was more just for our kicker's confidence, making sure that if we needed to knock in a field goal or a PAT, just to have that in his mind, to have that win at his back.
And then you got that big fourth down stop to win the game.
Yeah, that was one that, they kind of came out something. We called timeout to make sure we were all set, and they actually got the matchup they wanted, kind of a one-on-one look with one of their better receivers on the outside, but the quarterback had the wind at his back, and I think that kind of helped push that ball. But Cooper Lyles was in a pretty good position to kind of run that kid out of the back of the end zone, and then these kids get to enjoy the win, and it was an exciting, it was a thrilling thrilling overtime win.
Great Bend head coach Aaron Beck and running back Cody Miller with us on Sports Day today. The Panthers now 3-2. They are home Friday night to take on Liberal, and it's homecoming. Big plans for homecoming, Cody?
Yeah, well,
I know you're a junior, but not putting you on the spot or anything.
Ride a float. That's kind of...
Yeah, we have to ride the float.
The whole team rides the float, and the parade is Friday afternoon?
Yeah, I think it starts about 3 o'clock maybe. I think we get out at 2:30.
Okay.
Parade starts at 3. Yeah, they run it down Main Street, and it's a community event. People come out and see all the different teams and different. You'll see them from youth to all the way up to high school, and see a lot of different. Whether it's the different football teams, the PKFL, middle school. So it's always kind of fun to see the program as a whole, the whole Great Bend Panther family football. So homecoming's always more about the community and less about the football team, because we kind of try to keep things,
Sure. Like you said, it's regimented. We got a plan to follow, and we try to follow that plan.
Yeah, and making sure we're just focusing on the task at hand. And some of our kids yesterday in film after practice kind of said that it doesn't even feel like homecoming. And I said, that's good. That means your mind is on the football game.
Exactly.
And we kind of have turned that corner, hopefully, as a program. And I'm excited about the opportunity.
What will Liberal do that gives you the biggest test?
Well, they have a quarterback that has slung it all over the place.
This is the Kappelman kid?
Kappelman, yep. So this is Brock Kappelman, and he or Brock's son, Brooks, yeah. And Brooks he got kind of banged up right before halftime of that Dodge City game, so he didn't play last week, but non-structural. So we expect him to play versus us tomorrow or on Friday, and he'll present some problems. He throws it up. He's got a couple good receivers on the edge, and he gives them a chance to go make plays. And his running ability really has stepped up, but I don't foresee him doing that a ton with the bad knee. But they also have another quarterback that played last week in that second half versus Dodge that can do some of the zone read stuff and put pressure on us. So it'll be a challenge. It'll be a hard fought game again. I mean, the things that we kind of expect in the WAC this time of year. I feel like we're all kind of battling right now for that middle of the road, top of the WAC behind Hayes. So it'll be a fun opportunity for us.
From a player's perspective, Cody, what do you think will be the biggest thing against Liberal on Friday night?
For me as a running back, I think like the linebackers and our line getting to
the bowling ball linebackers, as you called them earlier.
Yeah. And if our line gets back there, I'm free. I'm going to score touchdowns.
That's what we want you to do, is score touchdowns.
That's right.
Final thoughts, Coach, as you get ready for Liberal on Friday night?
Well, the biggest question is Webby at home listening and wearing his maroon?
Oh, he was supposed to bring that in.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
yeah. He's got it on. I'm sure. He told me that he'd be wearing that thing.
He actually told me yesterday when I talked to him.
Yeah.
He was bringing that in.
Yeah.
And if you want to explain the whole Webby maroon shirt,
we're on about a 3-game win streak here with him wearing that on Sports Day. So I know he's at home wearing that thing. And the other big question was, I know that all the players listening to Cody here on the mic are. What was the over/under on how many words Cody would say? And that
so
that line. This is a little out of his comfort zone, and it's been good for him. I'm glad he came with me, but he's done such a good job for us on the football field that sometimes getting him out of English class, getting out of his comfort zone, and talking here on the mic is good for him. So I'm glad he came and did this. And
okay, we'll stay there till he says 15 consecutive words.
Yeah.
How's that, Cody? Okay, we'll put some pressure on you.
I don't know. He's probably thinking that's a little scary for him. He's a man of few words. That's how we like it. He plays with his or he talks with his play, and that's what we love about Cody. And but no, final thoughts heading into tomorrow. I mean, an opportunity to come play in front of our home crowd on homecoming. The atmosphere at Great Memorial Stadium is like nothing. These kids, they'll always remember that, and that's something that you always want to make sure they enjoy, take in, and never take for granted, and seize the opportunity here because it's a good one. It's another chance to go get another win that not only helps you in the WAC standings but in the 5A West standings. You're getting down to crunch time here as far as playoffs go. So. Excited about it and looking forward to it.
And how are you looking in the playoffs? I mean, I know you're still 3-4 weeks away, but how are you looking?
Yeah, right now we're sitting right in the middle of the road, which isn't bad. I mean, I think you go win 2 out of these next 3. We're hosting a home playoff game, so that would be huge to get on the top half of that thing and potentially getting that 7-10 matchup somewhere in that area. avoid the 8-9 game because you don't want Mays waiting on the other side of that thing. So wins will be very important here in the next 3 weeks.
And just to expand on the playoffs, it is in the 5A, it is a seeding process, correct?
Yeah, they just take 32 out of the West, 32 out of the East, and seed you 1 through 16, and that's how it rolls. And the higher seed hosts, and they just play that thing out, and Mill Valley will be waiting on the other side in the state championship game.
I talk to Chet Kappelman every week. I don't know if you know who Chet Kappelman
Absolutely.
is. He's amazing, but he's always talking Mill Valley. That's usually the first word out of his mouth is Mill Valley, and I got to talk to him a little bit this afternoon. But he's that man is amazing.
Yeah, he knows his stuff. He lives and breathes high school football, and you love it. You just love to hear the passion he has for these kids and for the game of football. So it's funny. You really feel like the game of high school football has grown a lot.
It has
through media, through social media. You guys obviously on the radio. I mean, it's become a big thing. So it's a lot of fun to see these guys and be able to share their passion with the fans and the kids and get that information out.
Cody, are you excited for Friday night?
Yeah, I'm really excited.
Okay, you gotta come
that
on.
was
Can
4
you
words.
expand
That was
on that a little bit, Cody? Jeez.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going to win.
Okay.
There we go.
Oh,
There we
no.
go. All right, that's a hot take. Easy.
You were worried about him just giving out plays.
Yeah.
Now he's giving out. We're going to win. That's bulletin board material.
That's right. That's right.
You don't want to do that.
That's
Cody.
okay.
We'll edit that. Well, it's live. I guess we can't do that.
That's okay.
Well,
that's okay.
Thank you, Coach Aaron Beck and Cody Miller, and hopefully Welby will be back next week, and we'll be back on a regular schedule.
All right. Thanks for having us on.
You bet. You guys have a great day. You're listening to Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM, and we'll be right back with more. We're talking to the head coach of the Maxville Mustangs next. That is Kyle Bright, as the Mustangs take on the Lacrosse Leopards on Friday. That'll be a big game as well. Maxville's 5-0, and Lacrosse is 4-1. We'll be right back. You're listening to Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM, the talk of the town.
Get the latest 5G devices at Next Tech Wireless. Now you can get the iPhone 14 Pro and the Samsung Galaxy S22 Plus on us, or up to $999 off any other device. And that's not all. You can also get half off a new Apple Watch when you bring your number to us. Next Tech Wireless. We are Kansas.
My classes. From Barton, I kind of took a range of classes from accounting, history, and I took PE1 and PE2 through Barton. They transferred pretty incredible. It helped save money, and it helped save some time, too. Just to think that you can live really anywhere and take these classes, I think it's pretty cool.
If you have ever thought about remodeling your bathroom but were worried it would take too long or cost too much, then stop worrying. Right now, Jacuzzi Bath Remodel has designed a collection of high-quality custom products and perfected the one-day remodeling experience so you can enjoy your new bathroom faster than ever before. It's a worry-free bath remodel from the most trusted brand name in the business, Jacuzzi. A jacuzzi bath system fits in your existing tub space. It's a no-mess installation with an amazing style selection, factory-certified installers, and a limited lifetime warranty. Call 800-291-7154. That's 800-291-7154 right now and get 50% off installations with no interest and no payments for 12 months. Replace that old bathtub today with a walk-in shower for a safer bathing experience. If you have lived in your home for over 15 years, it's time to remodel your bathroom. For a virtual or in-home appointment, call 800-291-7154. That's 800-291-7154. 800-291-7154.
It's Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM. Presented by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department.
Good afternoon and welcome back to Sports Day as we roll along here on a Thursday afternoon. A bunch of high school football games coming up tomorrow. We just talked with the head coach of the Great Bend Panthers, Aaron Beck, as they get set for a matchup with Liberal, homecoming in Great Bend, 7 o'clock Memorial Stadium. And now we're joined by the head coach of the Maxville Mustangs, Kyle Bright. How are we doing today, Coach?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Steve Webster's out, and the rest of us are kind of scrambling to fill him. I don't know if people realize, and I'm actually giving Steve Webster credit. I'm not sure why, but he does a lot of work around here, and we miss you, Steve. I hope you get back soon. So
there's some big to fill, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, Coach, you have a big one. First of all, you're 5-0. How's the first 5 games of the season gone, in your opinion? Obviously, you won all 5, so that's got to be good.
Yeah, I've been pretty pleased with how things have gone so far. We are obviously 5-0, but as a coach, we always try to find things to fix or to get better at. Every single week. So a part of me tries to still be picky so that we don't overlook some of those things that will hurt us down the road. So I've been very pleased, but there are obviously some things that we definitely have to work on still, but overall, very, very happy. So.
Without giving too much away, because, John Webster lives in Lacrosse and he may be listening. Who knows? What are a couple of things do you really feel like you need to work on at this point?
Well, for us, we've got to get a little bit better at stopping the run. We have had some trouble with that this year, just a little bit. But overall, I think we are much farther along this year than we were last year at this point. So I've been very pleased with most things. And I also think that we need to get just a little bit better at holding our blocks and creating more movement up front. So those are just a couple things that come to mind. So
yeah, you talked about, we're 5-0. Every coach will always find something to nitpick if you want to, just to make the players not get too big-headed, I guess.
Right. Absolutely.
Okay, playing lacrosse. What is this? I mean, I know I've heard about Mike Corson, who works at Eagle Radio here, was talking about your quarterback, Ryan Kappelman. He's 6'6", 225, somewhere in there?
6'6". He's not quite 225.
Okay.
He's probably more like 200.
Okay.
So, I mean,
that's still a big young man.
Huh?
That's still a big young man for 8-man football.
Yes, he is a big kid, and with that size, he has some really good speed to go with it. So he definitely makes things easier for me.
I bet he does. And knowing a little bit about his dad, who is very competitive, is Ryan kind of in that same mode?
Absolutely. Ryan is a very good competitor. He doesn't show a ton of the emotion all the time, but I never have to worry about his edge or his willingness to go out there and give his best, because that's just a major part of who he is. So yeah, he's very competitive. That's for sure.
Offensively, you guys do what?
We like to run the ball a lot, but it's not out of it's not a double tight eye thing. But we use multiple formations, and we try to spread the ball around to as many different guys as possible. But I think everybody knows that our bread and butter is more of a quarterback run style offense. But that's what we try to do best.
And now that I think about it, I'm gonna. Not really. The young running back is also pretty good. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. I know Coach Webster talked about your other running back.
Yes, Hector Gomez.
He is
a sophomore for us. He actually played quite a bit for us last year, but this year he has really taken hold of that lead role back there with Ryan. He's our number one tailback. He's averaging nearly 12 yards a carry right now, so he's doing a very good job for us. And I think I kind of said something about this last time, but he has his vision on that field is very, very good, and he's also very useful in the passing game. So Hector's a very gifted athlete, and he is definitely a good weapon that we use, because Ryan does get a lot of attention.
I bet he does.
So we can kind of use Hector to take some of that load off of Ryan. So he's been very good for us this year too.
Did I hear you right? 12 yards a carry?
Yes, it's like 11.67.
Okay, we can round. That's pretty impressive, actually.
Nearly 12. Yes, he has done a very good job for us.
We're talking with the head coach of the Maxville Mustangs. That is Kyle Bright, as the 5-0 Maxville Mustangs will take on Lacrosse 4-1. And what do you know about Lacrosse?
I know that they are a very well-coached team, and I know that they can throw the ball with the best of them. So if we want to have a chance this Friday night, we're going to have to not only take care of the ball for us, but we have to stop their passing game, and that will be a challenge in itself. That's for sure. They are a fast and talented team.
Because 8-man, you really don't throw the ball a lot. So have you faced a lot of passing teams earlier this season?
Well, for the most part, no. But when we played Trigo County, they threw the ball quite a bit on us, and Kinsley also likes to mix in quite a bit of passing. So we have a little bit of a background this year in it. So I'm hoping that the experiences there will definitely carry over to Friday night. So,
talking with the head coach of the Maxville Mustangs, Kyle Bright, and final thoughts on the game Friday night. What's going to take for the Mustangs to go 5 or 6-0?
Well, it's going to take a great effort on both sides of the ball. We're going to have to take care of the ball, one thing, and we have done a good job of that so far. But so as long as we can keep that going, that should definitely be a positive for us. And then also on defense, we have to limit their big plays, be really good on first and second down to force them into more predictable situations. And then on top of that, we need to create some turnovers. And when we do that certainly helps us. But we have a very good turnover margin right now. So if we can continue that Friday night, I really like our chances. So,
I guess one final question is, you're 5-0. Maxville's usually had a pretty good tradition. What does it take to continue that tradition in a small community like Maxville?
Well,
that may be a loaded question. I'm not sure, but I know they've had great basketball teams over the years. Kappelman, the head coach, Jeff Kappelman, as you talked about his son, Jeff has always had very competitive basketball teams.
Well, I think most coaches would agree with me when you say that it takes good players. Yes, a good coach always helps, but ultimately it does come down to having good players, and I'm just lucky enough that right now I have a good group of kids, and hopefully, and for us too, over the years we've had to have a lot of younger kids play for us at a young age, and that's kind of helped build some consistency, and that experience has helped us fall into a team that has a lot of good leaders on it. So that has really helped us there. So hopefully we can continue that whole process.
Well, now as I talk, I'm getting more questions in my brain, so that's kind of strange. That's kind of a bad thing. But you are a Maxville person. You came back to Maxville to coach. What led you back to Maxville?
Well, to be quite honest with you, it was a teaching job. When I graduated college, finally.
You're one of those?
Yeah. When I finally graduated, it just happened to work out that the PE job came open, and I was able to get that job. And so I just happened to it just happened to be the perfect timing, and that's just all there is to it. So That's why I am back here.
Well, actually, I will be honest with you, that's why I'm an Eagle Radio right now. Everything's perfect timing, and that's why I'm here.
Right.
So, well, Coach, good luck on Friday night as you take on Lacrosse. The Maxville Mustangs are 5-0. Lacrosse is 4-1, and it'll be Kyle Bright against John Webster on Friday night. Any thoughts on John? Great man, I know. 100 wins. Just got his 100th win. You're going to try to keep him from 101 Friday night, right?
Yes. John's a good dude. I've known him now for, 3-4 years or so, and he's a good dude. He's a class act, and he is also a very good coach. So I have a lot of respect for him. So I am excited to see what we have tomorrow night versus John Webster and the Lacrosse Leopards. So. Well, thank you, guys.
Good luck, Coach Kyle Bright, and hopefully we'll talk to you later on the season as you continue to win ball games.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Head coach of the Maxville Mustangs, that's Kyle Bright. We'll be right back with more of Sports Day after this. You're listening to 1590 KVGB 95.5 FM. It is the talk of the town.
From the Mayo Money Management Studios, 1590 KVGB Gray Bend and 95.5 FM K238CK Hoisington.
This is Barton Community College Athletic Director Trevor Rolfs. The Barton Athletic Department is proud to sponsor Sports Day on KVGB, a show that showcases all of our high school student athletes in Central Kansas, some whom will continue their educational and athletic future with us here at Barton. We're excited about the fall sports season that is now underway and invite you to attend a game or a match and experience the rich tradition of Cougar athletics. For complete schedules and results, visit bartonsports.com.
If you need physical therapy, consider Advanced Therapy in Great Bend and Progressive Therapy in Larned and Hayes.
Hello, this is Austin Alford. I'd like to introduce to you today one of the most popular pieces of equipment we have to train core strength, shoulder stability, core stability, and even to improve balance. Come check out the core sticks for yourself at Progressive Physical Therapy Center in Hayes.
You don't need to hurt. Physical therapy can help. Call Advanced or Progressive Therapy and Sports Medicine to explore your treatment options and get your life back.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Sports Day presents On the Prowl with Mike Corson, an inside look at all the sports taking place at Great Bend High School.
Welcome back to Sports Day, 1590 KVGB, 95.5 FM. Mike Corson, joined today by an all-star cast. Got Great Bend High School soccer junior Alex Galindo and Coach Chewy Loera. Alex, multi-sport athlete, homecoming week. Which float are you going to be on the parade tomorrow?
Been thinking about this one for a while. I'm going to have to go with my soccer family, though.
Probably a good call. That's your primary sport. But big football. Football's been in the news a lot. 3 straight wins. You were out at Dodge City Friday, 21-14 overtime win. Dodge City had missed a 25-yard field goal early on, and then right after that you missed a 35-yarder, but you were 3 for 3 on your point afters. Any pressure in those kicks, especially in close games?
That last kick, I was shaking my foot when I was going up to kick. It was insane pressure.
And then you follow that up Tuesday with a 3-goal game against Life Prep. Great Bend gets its second win of the season. You could have had 6 or 7. You get the 3, but is it disappointing not to kind of tally them up there?
No, not really. As long as we got the team win, that's honestly all I care about.
And then Great Bend is hosting Garden City tonight. They beat you guys 10-0. What are the expectations heading into tonight's game?
Go out strong and show them what we got. We can't come out weak. We got to go out strong, make up for that big loss we had against them.
And Coach Loera, after the game Tuesday, Alex mentioned the new formation, and it did yield more goals. Kind of tell me what the switch was there.
Yeah, so the switch was from an attacking 4-3-3, which basically means you got 4 defenders, 3 midfielders and 3 attackers. So we just switched it up to a 4-1-3-2, which just means we've got more in the attacking part of the field. So that way we've got more attacking, more options, and more opportunities is really what we're looking for out of that. And it seemed to work well with 5 goals this last game. So hopefully we can get a few more this game and stay competitive and stay in the game.
Great Bend High School soccer junior Alex Galindo and Coach Chewy Loera. And I was at the game against Word Life Tuesday. I was very impressed with the crossing, and those are some freshmen out there playing. Talk about your freshman Alex's, and then the impact of having kids who can cross the ball long distances.
Yeah, crossing. So where you want to cross out from the wide part of the field, it's about maybe a 40-yard distance, and we've got Alex Alcala, who's maybe, I don't know what this kid, maybe 120 pounds, but he's got some leg on him for his size and for his age. He's only 14 years old, and he's pretty precise too with that cross. And so he did a really fine job for us, especially with the number of opportunities that he had. So he did well with placing the ball and giving our guys opportunities to challenge that goalkeeper. And we got 5 goals out of that.
And Alex, you are a junior this year. You're the captain. You do have those freshmen out there. Kind of, what is your role as a captain this year?
My goal as the captain is to push the kids to be better and looking towards the future, better them, let them know what it takes to be in this program, and just hold them accountable for everything. Practice, make them work hard.
And Coach, I know he's sitting right here, but what are you looking for in a captain?
Yeah, same thing. Alex did a pretty good job at answering that question, and same thing. So we're looking for guys that are going to represent this program beyond the soccer field. Are they involved in the community? Do they do the right things in the classroom? And do they, do they represent, this program in the best way? And it goes beyond athletic ability. And Alex is a young man who fits every category, and that's why he's captain.
And maybe people aren't familiar with the soccer world. It is a big deal to be the captain. As an adult, how big an honor it is to bestow on a kid. How about that, just to single out a kid?
Yeah, so the captain, you're right, it is a big deal. I mean, you'll have anywhere from 35 to 40 kids on the team, and to be one of the 2 captains, it says a lot about their character, their commitment, and their ability to maybe be uncomfortable in moments where you have to hold your teammates accountable, and you can't think about it too much. You just got to, like Mr. Freeze likes to remind us, you got to do the next right thing, and he's always quick to do that. And so, again, that's why he's the one that gets to wear the band during the games.
Once again, Great Bend Soccer junior Alex Galindo, Coach Chewy Loera. Chewy's in his 7th season, and he just made some news of his own on Tuesday with his 50th career win. Tell me why that was significant.
50 wins. So I got hired in 2016, and one of my goals was to get this program back to winning. Of course, we're in a rebuild year, but in previous years we've been able to get some good wins, and I'm confident that closing this season off, we're going to get more competitive, and coming into next year, we're going to get back to where we want to be as far as record. But, 50 wins is a big deal for me and for our program. And, we're looking for number 51 for me on a personal level, because it'll allow me to be the coach with the most wins. And then, but more importantly, if we get number 51, that means that we got another win on the year. So that's really the most important thing. But, I've given everything that I have to this program, my time, my heart, for sure. And, shout out to my wife. She's the real MVP. She's the one that, deals with sacrificing me being gone all the time. I've missed 6 out of her last 7 birthdays because we've played on those days. And, because of her sacrifice and her supporting me all these years, it's allowed me to pick up 50 wins and hopefully 51. And then when we pick up that 51, it's dedicated to her for sure.
And plenty of opportunities to do it. Garden City tonight at the Cav. JV action starts at 5 o'clock. Varsity action at 6:30. Tuesday, the varsity team travels to Dodge City to face the reigning 6A champions. And JV will be there. Wednesday, JV only at Hayes. And Thursday, the last home game for the JV and the varsity teams, home against Junction City. Alex and Coach, good luck tonight. Good luck next week. Good luck getting that 51. Alex, keep scoring and keep representing the football team as well, and thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
More Sports Day after this.
When you need to get rid of the pain, you want the best. You need to see Dr. Dan Quillen at Catalyst Therapy and Sports Rehab. Dr. Dan is Barton County's only board-certified clinical specialist in orthopedic physical therapy. No matter your age, when it hurts, he will help. Call Dan at 620-282-4825. That's 282-4825. Excellence-driven, unrivaled results. Catalyst Therapy and Sports Rehab. Inside the Fieldhouse at 9th and Madison and Great Bend.
Some of us were born to farm. Some diesels, like Cenex Premium Diesel, were born to fuel. Cenex Ruby Fieldmaster comes with a more complete additive package for a more complete burn to reduce particulate matter and keep filters cleaner for longer. Fuel your equipment like a pro with Cenex Ruby Fieldmaster and leave typical number 2 diesel to the amateurs. Cenex Premium Diesel. Diesel that doesn't mess around.
Contact American Plains Co-op in Great Bend, your certified Cenex distributor today.
Introducing Fidelity Income Planning. We look at how much you've saved, how much you'll need, and help you build a straightforward plan to generate income, even when you're not working. A plan that gives you the chance to grow your savings and create cash flow that lasts. Plus, you can start, stop, or adjust your plan at any time. Talk to us today so we can help you go from saving to living. Fidelity Brokerage Services, member NYSE, SIPC.
I said chantilly lace and eggshell, not matte.
Colby's Interior Design Consultancy is floored with new clients.
Wait, what am I looking at here? This looks like plaid.
They need an admin with an eye for design and a knack for numbers.
Okay, hey, Luke, take a look at this. Do those numbers look right?
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Screen for quality candidates with the skills your role needs with Indeed assessments. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back to Sports Day. I'm Mike Hesher, and you're listening to 1590 KBGB 95.5 FM. It is the talk of the town. Sports Day is presented by Barton Community College, along with Barton Community College Athletics. We do appreciate that. And I've been abandoned. Webby's off. Mike Corson had to go somewhere, so I get to fill a couple minutes here. So let's thank of all first the guests today. They are all very well-spoken guests. We talked with Aaron Beck and Cody Miller from Great Bend High School football. Cody was well-spoken. He is just a man of few words. Then we talked to the head coach of the Maxville Mustangs, Kyle Bright, as Kyle Bright and the Mustangs take on Lacrosse Friday night. And then we just visited with a couple people from Great Bend Soccer. That's Alex Galindo, who had a big night on Tuesday night for the Great Bend Soccer team. And then I'm going to say just Coach Chewy. I think it's Luera, but I'm not sure, but it's just Coach Chewy in my opinion. So we thank all those people for coming in and making this show possible here today. Broncos and Colts tonight. We may have some Broncos reaction tomorrow on the show, as we will be back on tomorrow at 12:30, and we'll be looking forward to that. So we'll talk to Chet Kappelman tomorrow, and let's see, there's also another Panther on the Prowl with Mike Corson will be on, so that will be tomorrow's show, 12:30 on your Friday, and that will get the Friday Sports Day started. Looking at the football schedule for Friday night, we've talked plenty about Liberal and Great Bend. Liberals 2-3, Great Bend's 3-2. Panthers going for their fourth straight win. It will be homecoming at GBHS. Supposed to be a little cooler tomorrow, so if you're headed out to the contest, that might be time to take a jacket. Maybe a couple jackets. And then also the parade is tomorrow afternoon, as it is homecoming in Great Bend. Other Western Athletic Conference action tomorrow. Dodge City will take on Hayes. The Red Demons are 3-2 after losing to Great Bend last Friday. And then Hayes is still standing at 4-1. Ulysses, 1-4, will travel to Garden City to take on the Buffaloes. The Buffaloes are 4-1. In the Central Kansas League, it's a big district matchup in Hoisington Friday night, as Lakin, with a 5-0 record, will take on Hoisington 3-2, and they're both undefeated in the district, so that game may go a long way in deciding who wins the district. Other Central Kansas League action, Larned Indians will be at Southwestern Heights. That's 2-3 Larned against Southwestern Heights 2-3. You can hear that game on 106.9 The Point, or 106.9 The Hits, and you can also hear Hoisington on 100.7 Eagle Country, and obviously you can hear Great Bend on 104.3 The Point. Smoky Valley is at Pratt, Lyons is at Halstead, Clearwater is at Heston, Haven at Douglas, Nickerson at Cheney, and Hillsborough will take on the undefeated and number one ranked team in Class 2A, the Southeast of Saline Trojans. Other area 11-man games tomorrow. Inman takes on Ellenwood. Inman is undefeated. Ellenwood stands at 2-3. Undefeated Ellsworth, 5-0, now ranked, will go to Russell to take on the 3-2 Broncos. TMP 3-2 takes on Phillipsburg 1-4, and Conway Springs at 2-3 takes on Sterling. That'll wrap up the show for this afternoon. We thank you for joining us. Sports Day is presented by Barton Community College and Barton Community College Athletics. We thank them for all their efforts in bringing you this show. I'm Mike Hesher. Mike Corson will be back tomorrow, and we'll talk to you then. You're listening to 1590 KBGB and 95.5 FM.